Okay, so this morning's job, going to be replacing this radiator. It's imperial size, so I think it's just over 1100 wide. So we're going to go for 1000 wide, 600 high. So it's going to be a bit of a gap between the valves, but I'm going to put a couple of extensions on because, yeah, there's not much play in the pipework, and obviously we've got laminate flooring, so getting that up and readjusting the pipework is going to be a nightmare. So I'm going to get the radiator on the wall, centered on, and then just put a couple of extensions on from there. Okay, so where it's an open vent system, I'm going to try to do it without having to drain the system down. So locking off the TRV and the lock shield, going to drain the radiator out, remove the radiator, get the new one on the wall, and then just basically got 2 chrome male lines to go into the radiator tails, a bit of chrome pipe that will go into each of the valve, and that should get us out of trouble. I always forget what these are called. Plum thumbs, I think. Yeah. Very handy for when you're trying to take the old radiators out, because it just caps the tails. There you go. And then you can just empty the radiator out outside. Okay, so the old radiator is off. Now, because we're going to be hanging the radiator to the valves, what I normally do, I know everyone's got their own way of doing it, but what I measure is from the floor to the center of that valve, and then on the radiator, I'm going to take the measurement from where the tail end is to the bottom of the bracket, and add that distance to the distance between that and the bracket, and that's where the bottom of our bracket will go. So that will be our baseline. Then I can put my brackets on. I've measured the center line, so that's the center point there. That's 580 from each valve, because we've got 1160 distance between the 2 valves. So let's take a look. I'm gonna have to extend this up a bit more and see what we've got from the floor. So I would say that is 155, and it was it got a bit of movement there. So if we look at that as, yeah, I'm going to take that as 155 to the center of that one. This valve here, it moves up and down a bit, so I'm not going to use that one. This one's a bit more stable, so I'm going to use this one as our baseline. So we've got 155 there, so, and now what I'll measure is the distance between the center of that tail to the bottom of that bracket. So open that over to there and measure there. That says 65. 60. Let's go for 60. Yeah. So I need to add 155 plus 60, and that's going to be where the bottom of our bracket is going to go. And then once I've got the baseline, just equal distance from the center, then put our brackets on, then hang the radiator on. So if I hide that laser mark for now, so where we go, there it is. That's 215 from the bottom. So just set up the laser, so we know that's going to be where the bottom of our bracket is going to sit. So now all I've got to do is just measure equal distance from the center to each bracket, get them on there, make the holes, drill it on, and then hang the radiator, and then we can start messing around with getting it piped up to the valves. So I've got my markings on for my brackets. This side's okay, but this side might have a bit of trouble on that one, so I'm going to see if I can use that one. Down here seems to be okay, but this wall, don't know if you can see, it's sort of bowing out a bit, so yeah, hopefully we can get the bracket to go flush straight onto the wall. We're going to drill the holes now, get the bracket on, get the radiator on, and then line it up. Well, hopefully it should just line up to the valves. Right, radiator is hung, level, the tails line up. So now all we've got to do, got myself a couple of chrome main lines. They'll go into there, and then a bit of chrome pipe to just extend out to there. Right, there we go. That's all hung, piped up. So yeah, rather than getting the extensions, because sometimes you don't know how much you're going to need on each side, learnt this little trick off of Mr. Mike Abbott from Rely On Plumbing and Heating Services. Chrome main line in there, bit of chrome pipe, then you can cut that down to whatever lengths you want. So in situations like this where you can't really adjust the pipework, it's a nice little alternative solution. Rather than using radiator tail extensions, just get yourself a length of chrome pipe, 2 chrome main lines, and then you can get your distances there. So let's just fill this up and we'll test it now. Okay, let's open up this side. Ow. Raw plug. And where are my keys? They are in the van. Stupid. Flathead should do. So just pop that there. That's always a good sound, especially when you're working on an open vent system. It's just a waiting game now. Let's put a plug up there just in case. Right, I'll come back to this once it's full. Right, we have water coming out, so let's turn that off. Now, I'm just going to run the heating and test everything's working and make sure there's no leaks. Okay, so radiator is all done, heating's been tested, it's all nice and warm.
I turned it down to 2.
Perfect. And yeah, customer can fit their bed and the wardrobes and everything in as well, so
Just about, actually, and you just went in.
just about, we're all good.